Okay, we'll call this meeting to order, June 9th, 2022 at 1 p.m. And with that, I'll do a roll call. Dennis Bender? Here. Christopher Nunez?
Here.
Maria Okpara?
Here.
Wilson So? And Rick Rowley, I'm here. Dennis, will you lead us in the pledge today?
Sure will. Ready?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay.
Made in the U.S.
Public comments. Kylie, we have any public comments?
We do not.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving right along to closed session. So I'll read off here what we're going to be going into closed session for. Item 1, conference on litigation, Government Code Section 549, 56.9A. Current litigation, 5 cases. 1907-172, 2011-83, 2022-956, 202-3366, 2111-303. Government Code Section 54954.5, subsection C, and subsection D, and 1E1. Anticipated litigation, 11 cases. 2018-1907, 2020, 2105, 2020, 2107, 2021, 2206, 2021, 2207, 2021, 2208. 2021, 2209, 2021, 22-10, 2021, 22-11, 2021, 22-12, 2021/2213. Government Code Section 54954.5, subsection D. Anticipated litigation, 1 case, and it's Welchel Aiden. Item 2, public employee discipline, dismissal, release, reassignment, transfer, leave, title certificated and classified employees. Item 3, public employee appointment, resignation, retirement, reduction, title certificated and classified employees. Item 4, conference with labor negotiator, agency negotiator, Destin Conrad. B, employee organization, Apple Valley Unified Teachers Association. 5, conference with labor negotiator, agency negotiator, Destin Conrad. Excuse me. B, employee organization, California School Employees Association. 6, conference with real property negotiator, Government Code 549, 56.8, negotiation parties, Matthew Schulenberg / Apple Valley Unified School. 7, superintendent evaluation. Okay, with that, I'm going to call for a motion to go into closed session.
Call for a motion to go into close.
Second?
We have a motion, Maria, a second, Chris. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that'll be the order. So we'll go into closed session at 1:03. And we'll be back anytime after 1:30, but not much after. Okay. All right, we'll open this meeting back up at 1:52 on July 9th, 2022. So with that, I'll call the meeting in order. So we have closed session reports. Clerk, Dennis, will you read what we reported out in closed session?
In closed session, the Board of Trustees took action in support of the following recommendation. What's the matter? You got it now? I'm not going to repeat it. Conference on litigation, Government Code Section 54954.5D, AVUSD versus AVUSD, on a motion by Wilson So, seconded by Rick Raleigh. The board voted unanimously to deny the claim. Public employee discipline, dismissal, release, reassignment, transfer, leave, certificated and classified employees, on a motion by Maria, seconded by Chris. The Board of Trustees approved the following. Appoint Priscilla Avila as Coordinator, Student Services, Range 10, Column 1, on the Certificated Management Salary Schedule, 205 base days, effective July 1, 22. Public Employees Discipline, Dismissal, Release, Reassignment, on a motion by Maria Apara, seconded by Wilson So. The Board of Trustees approved the following. In accordance with the contract agreement between the Apple Valley Unified District and the Apple Valley Unified Teachers, the Board of Trustees approved the recommendation of the superintendent and in the best interest of the district and employees to proceed with administrative transfer of employee number 8927 from Phoenix Academy to Vanguard Prep effective 7/1/22 on a vote of 5-0.
Okay,
That's it.
thank you, Dennis. Okay, item 3, adoption of the agenda. The board may approve the agenda as is or add or pull any items from consent agenda for discussion or action. Do I have a motion to approve?
Second.
First by Maria, second by Dennis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that'll be the order. Okay, so what we have next is a recognition for Apple Valley Unified School District Family Centers as recipients of the National Assistance League Operation School Bell Award. And this will be presented by Trinae, and we all just took a tour in the back there.
Super.
So it's all yours, Trinae.
See, magic. Thanks, Matt. If I can have the board and cabinet join me up here, and if I can also have the family centers, Zaira, Cassandra, and Mariana. As you're coming up, I would like to just talk a little bit about the family centers and this award. Operation School Bell is the Assistance League signature program. Chapters research specific needs of their local communities, then develop and fund and implement programs that support children in need. The goal is to help children succeed in school by providing new clothes, health assistance, including hearing, vision, and dental care and literacy. They focus on cultural and higher education enrichment as well. On May 2nd, the Apple Valley Unified School District Family Centers were presented with the Assistance League's National Operation School Bell Award. National, not local. And I want to just keep pointing that out. And so we were at Spring Valley Lake. I ran over before something else that was happening. And so I got mine that sits in the superintendent's office early that day. But then these are the stars of the show, right? So the national award is given to honor those who, through significant financial, in-kind, or service support, have a direct powerful impact and positive impact on the Operation School Bell in the chapter's community. They acknowledge the leads of the family centers who go above and beyond. And so from Apple Valley Unified School District, it's the service that they provide, right? Probably a lot of in-kind time that I don't really want to know about. because they're always behind the scenes doing stuff. So here today is not the entire team, but I'd like to read their names so that you know who is out there doing this work. Karina Ramirez is part of the Equity and Access. She is clerical in the department currently, but was previously a family center coordinator at Yuckaloma School. Zyra Hall. And Zyra is the coordinator of the Family Center at Granite Hills High School, but way involved in a lot of other things. If there's service in the community that needs to be done, she's often there with a group of kids supporting. Aurora Martinez, who is out of town currently, is the coordinator here at the ESC. Cindy Carrasas is the coordinator, and Veronica Gonzalez, the former coordinator and now counselor at Phoenix Academy, still serving. Pedra Rios is the coordinator at Yuckaloma. Jacqueline Tostado is the coordinator at Sandia Academy. And Mariana Torres, the director of Equity and Access, who thought she was going to, 18 years ago, volunteer in our district for families, right? That's how we get our people, is they come to serve and they want to serve for free. And then we say, let us pay you to do this work. So she is the director of Equity and Access, and without the complete vision and support of her, none of this would be possible. And I know you did just get the tour of the food pantry, and it is a highlight of this district. So I'm going to finish with taking care and giving back, the power of a generous heart. That is what Assistance League says, right? That's one of their national mottos. And then Assistance League's charitable programs rely on hands-on involvement by their volunteers and spring from their generous hearts and minds. Each innovative program is designed to meet specific needs of individual communities. Assistance League's members, volunteers have achieved true transformation in their communities and have helped make a better world possible. We appreciate the dedication of the Assistance League of Victor Valley, as they have supported our children in this school district, and the wonderful staff and of the family centers in AVUSD. So I'm going to have them.
No pressure. Mr. Bender.
Oh, Mr. Bender.
I'll have you guys take a picture really fast. Thank you. Thank you. You guys want to squeeze in for get a picture really quick?
Come in the middle, we'll have it. You were saying.
One, two.
I will see it on Facebook.
Yeah, my Tic Tac from the last meeting.
All right, go move on to discussion items. We have a presentation on the LCAP from Pat Schlosser, Assistant Superintendent, Educational Services. Pat,
Thank
you're up.
you. Okay, so I've got a copy of this presentation there. I'm going to try presenting from here. I've been in the habit lately of presenting from the chair, but I lean forward and I can't see you all, and I don't know if you're having questions, so I'll give this one a shot. This is a presentation both on the LCAP is up for approval tonight or this afternoon, but also our local indicators, which must be by statute now presented at the same time. The LCAP has data that's presented at the CDE and other measurable data. The local indicators are things we measure only locally or we keep record of locally, and it's up to us to determine whether or not we're making progress. So a couple of things before we begin, I'll just tell you there are 5 indicators, Apple Valley Unified School District has met the requirement in all 5 areas, and I'll go through how that is determined. Remember the LCAP process? We are always in LCAP process, constantly examining data, gathering information and input or surveys, meeting with various community groups and staff. We start to draft and present ideas both to the community groups, the District Advisory Committee and DLAC, and to you. And by April, we get a consensus on our LCAP draft. We bring it to you twice, typically 3 times. I like to do a May presentation of just what the highlights are, June for a public hearing, which we did last Thursday, and then today for approval. And then we'll submit it to the county. I'll submit it tomorrow. We'll go back and forth over language and just updates. And if there's some significant changes, it'll come back to you for a final approval. And then by September, they have to approve the whole thing. And so that's the process we've become accustomed to in this current funding formula. It matches roughly the budget cycle. Big ideas for today are these local indicators. It's either met or not met. Those are your only 2 choices. There's no percentages. There's no numerical value. You have one of 2, you can make one of 2. And I actually input these on our district dashboard. I either say we met or did not meet the criteria. And I'll highlight the fact that for the most part, the criteria are simply to be transparent and report. It is not that you have to hit a certain numerical data point. You simply must self-evaluate. So we'll go through those in just a moment. These are the 5 areas. They're part of the 8 state priority areas. There are many sub-priorities underneath these. So for example, basic conditions, you're going to see a report on 2 or 3 different subcategories that fall under something called basics, which is things like facilities, qualified teachers, and sufficient instructional materials. So remember, MET means we've implemented a process to pay attention and report that data. So priority 1, first, the number or percentage of teacher misassignments. Typically, this number has been very, very small in prior years. The states changed the way they define some of these terms. And so we actually have by state definition, because of some course code misalignments or the way that, remember, typically, a multiple subject elementary school teacher might be assigned 1 section, first grade, all day. But in a high school setting, you might have a teacher who not only teaches the 5 sections, but those sections may be subdivided with maybe different groups of students in the classroom. So they could easily have 10 sections assigned. And if one of those sections is miscoded, or if it's a student in that section happens to have an IEP that calls for an autism certificate and that teacher doesn't have it, on that day that this report is run, that's technically a misassignment. And so those are the kinds of things that are in the misassignment. Let me tell you that as I look through this list with Mr. Conrad, none of the teachers on this list are misassigned from the point of view they all have credentials. They've been approved. If there are emergencies, they've been approved by you properly. So this misassignment number, although I could easily have reported 0, this is the most transparent, documented number I can come up with that I can say, here's where I got it. And every year we'll work to get that number down. We actually had at the time of reporting 1 vacancy. Remember, this is for the 2021 school year. It's not for this year. It's for the year prior. So starting now, we'll start to work on this school year's misassignment list, which is lengthy, and again, start to go through the state process to essentially negotiate with them to explain, here's why this teacher is teaching this section. We allow our sites to be pretty creative, to solve problems, to make schedules that work for kids. Sometimes we get in a place where the course they think they want to offer doesn't match the credential perfectly, and we have to write a document, and that all takes time. So that's why this number is 56, but I feel very comfortable that this list does not represent misassignments in the way I used to think of them, meaning someone with the wrong credential. That's not the case. These are minor course code errors. And I think it's the right thing to do to present this number. That's what will be on the school accountability report card, and it is for the prior year. The other area is students with textbooks. All of our students have Common Core State Standard aligned or properly state standard aligned textbook. That's not an issue at all. We also have something we do internally in our system to do our own. We actually bring in a third party to do a very rigorous analysis of our facilities. That facilities analysis works on a system of percentages. Schools are in good repair if they score 90% or above. We had 5 sites, one of them within 2/100ths of 90%. We had 5 sites that were considered fair. Now they give us that report, and immediately Mr. Schulenberg's department gets busy remediating those deficiencies. They've all been dealt with. So these sites, but on the day of the report, we have 5 sites that were fair. There are 3 high schools, Desert Knolls and Mariana. And so again, they run right to the list, they get started, and they remediate those deficiencies. This again is our most, we do this to ourselves. We used to do our fit reports ourselves. As a principal, I would walk around and I'd say, everything looks good. Or I'd find a couple things I felt like really needed attention and I'd turn those work orders in. Instead, we have a transparent process that yields the most rigorous analysis of our sites as it can be done. Partially, in some ways, let's just put it this way. It's as strict a standard as I think any of us would expect for our children in school. By virtue of having analyzed our system in the following manner, we have met the criteria for basic conditions. Implementation of state standards, they give you 2 options. We choose option 2, which is essentially a self-assessment by subject area. And so we have met the standard. Our self-assessment yields the following. Essentially, all our core content areas have been updated. Theda Smith in the Curriculum and Instruction Department has done a wonderful job. Every core content area has an updated curriculum. There's a couple are just finishing up. High school bio and chem are meeting, and physics actually. So they're taking a look at new content. Some AP courses just changed, even though we just adopted. And so we're going to, of course, keep those books aligned to the test. 6th, 7th, and 8th grade language arts will be going through the process again, coming up shortly. And 11th grade English will be going through that as well. So again, they have standards aligned materials because those standards haven't moved much, but we're going to keep those. They're the next in line for a refresh.
What did they change on the high school level, the AP? What courses are they?
Psych. Psych has the
That's the only
main,
one, psych?
that's the main change this year.
Good.
In addition, as you may know, the new mathematics framework's just been adopted. No textbooks are yet available. So we'll be watching for that very carefully. Parent engagement. It's actually parent engagement and parent involvement. We do this with a number of ways. Of course, as you know, we survey and report those surveys to you and to the district advisory committee. The survey data this year looks pretty good. You see that we had a large increase in the number of students who participated in the Youth Truth Survey, which will become relevant in a moment. Our family participation was back up to where we like to see it, a little higher. And then our employee participation, not relevant for this report, but I just want to make sure you know we are gathering that input from all of our community members. So for parent input, remember each site has a parent involved in the district advisory process. They also, of course, have members on the DLAC. And then, of course, sites have their parents involved at the school site level, particularly in their development of their single school plan. So by virtue of that particular type of parent input, we have met that standard. And we, by the way, present to other districts on how to get parent input to the measure that we get it. Just a reminder, the survey's categories are these. Youth Truth is the 3 that are common to all groups are engagement, which includes things like academic challenge. How difficult is school? Do you feel challenged at school? And career readiness, asking them questions about, are they being connected to their life after high school? There's a whole section on relationships and comfort with school, and the adults therein have reported to you about that. And then, of course, culture. So priority 6 is actually school climate. Those surveys are perfect for the school climate. That's what they're designed to do, is satisfy this particular priority. So we use that survey. That data has been shared back both with the district advisory. Of course, the school site principals do get their data back for their site for all groups, students, parents, and staff. The advisory groups get a look at this data too, by site and also at large. And so again, by virtue of this kind of a self-analysis and then the adjustments we make to the LCAP to meet this, for us, it's important to note that in our LCAP, Youth truth metrics are one of the things we look to every year. We want to see growth, particularly with in this, if you remember, November, we had a slight decline in some of our areas from April. We can hypothesize why that might be, but it's critical that in November next, we see growth, and we expect to. Finally, broad course of study. This is defined generally as making sure students have access. We do this by transcript analysis, taking a look at reports that show us student groups and their success in various courses. We make sure those students have access to things like summer school, which thankfully now is a couple thousand students enjoying a summer program. It's fantastic. We look at the distribution of grades by different courses and the distribution of grades by different student groups. Remember that our program does narrow at High Desert Premier Academy. They just don't have the offerings, but the grad rate there, as you can remember from the graduation a couple weeks ago, is fantastic. So they either get back on track and return to the comprehensive high schools where they can get back to the elective environment, or they stay and they finish. And so this priority area is met. And so we've met the five local indicators. There's a lot behind each one of these. It's a year-long process, of course. This is the time when we report them, but we're always paying attention to these. Like even, to talk about teacher credentialing for just a moment, that's something that's being worked on diligently really all year long to make sure that people have what they need. So I'll pause there for questions.
Any questions for Pat? You continue, Pat? You have more?
That's it.
That's it? Okay. Pretty good presentation. Thank you. Good way to end the year off. And we move on to public comments. This is Kylie. Do we have any public comments come in?
We do not.
Okay, thank you. Superintendent comments. Trinae.
Yes, this afternoon you toured the food pantry, which provides 150 to 180 families with food each Friday. AVUSD is applying for California School Board's Golden Bell Award for our food pantry, and we are asking that the board sign a letter of support at the end of the board meeting for this application. On a different topic, the Board of Trustees has requested information regarding different ways school districts can fund stadiums in reference to the Granite Hills High School football stadium. Mr. Schulenberg has presented various ways to complete this type of capital improvement project during recent board meetings. The most expedited way to proceed is with a certificate of participation, a COPS, which is debt to be paid back over typically a 30-year time period. Our redevelopment funds could partially offset the debt service payments, but the district would be committing unrestricted general fund money, dollars annually from the budget to service the debt. I would like direction from the board to place a future item on the next board meeting, which is in August, to invite Mr. Carty of Piper Sandler to present the board the next steps required to move forward with a certificate of participation.
I recommend that we do that.
Is the rest of the board, so that I have consensus, I just
Sure.
need.
Yes, we do.
Thank you. Okay, and then I also would ask that Mr. Schulenberg take a second and explain about the cost of fuel in the district. I know that that was a topic at the last board meeting, so I asked him if he would prepare just a statement regarding that for today. And then I have one final thing when he's done.
Yeah, thank you. In response to a couple of questions that came up last Thursday from Mr. Rowley and Mr. Bender, a point of clarification, Mr. Rowley inquired as if we pay sales tax. We do pay sales tax to the full rate on our diesel fuel. However, on our gasoline, the sales tax we pay is only 2.75% because of the California state fuel tax on the gasoline. Specific to the price per gallon, you go 3 years back on our diesel, we paid about $2.22 a gallon in bulk for our diesel fuel. You go to a few months back, we paid $3.33 a gallon for our diesel fuel. So a 50% increase over 3 years, but a 34% increase over the last 14 months. So most of that increase has occurred very recently. On the gasoline side, 3 years ago, we paid about $2.20 a gallon. 3 months ago, we paid $3.30 a gallon. Again, about a 50% increase over the last 3 years. But again, if you go back 14 months, a 26% increase in the price of gas we're paying in bulk. And then Mr. Bender had a question specific to the taxes we pay on the fuel we buy. On our diesel fuel, there are a couple federal taxes and a California tax. These are not part of the sales tax, but those federal and state taxes on diesel for us total a little over a 1 cent per gallon tax on the diesel, and then we pay sales tax not only on the price of the gas but on the taxes. For the gasoline, the state and federal taxes total about 52 cents a gallon, mainly due to the California state fuel tax that replaces part of the sales tax.
So on fuel, we pay like 52 cents a gallon.
52 cents a gallon on gasoline are the total taxes we pay, inclusive of the federal and state tax. And then we pay the 2.75% sales tax on top of that.
And that goes up on July the 1st.
We're not sure of that. We're not sure if it's going up on July 1st, is it?
Yeah, it's automatically. They voted it in. Every year it goes up.
The
We're
gasoline
stupid,
tax.
that's why.
That's all I have.
Thanks,
Thank-
Matt.
Thank you.
And then just so that I can expedite the end of the meeting and not have a comment then, most of the school year was focused on compliance with California Department of Public Health orders, and we are fortunate to complete the year with a lot of normalcy. It felt really good to be at graduations with families there without some of the requirements. Summer school's in full swing. You heard Mr. Schlosser say there's over 2,000 students participating. We have our endless or seamless summer feed going on so that to support families that need food during that time. And then professional development is in full swing and people are attending everything that is being offered. There's people in the sessions. While many of us have vacations planned for the summer, there are teams like our IT team, our maintenance and operations teams, and several others that are out there getting ready already for the 22-23 school year. And so while some of us are taking time off, we know they're out there working hard and we appreciate them. So I just want to mention that because behind the scenes, there's a lot of work going on, painting. Drive by some of our schools, you'll see things happening that beyond summer school. So I appreciate everybody and hope everybody has some time off, even those that are working hard.
Great. Thank you, Janae. Wilson?
No, I don't have a whole lot of comment. I just want to wish all the staff to have a good summer break. That's all I have.
Thank you. Maria?
Nothing?
Christopher?
Yeah, real quickly, I just wanted to say thank you to the parents that participate in our district advisory committees and our LCAP process. Obviously, this is incredibly important to making sure that we are guiding this district in the way that our community sees fit. So thank you for your participation, and I encourage more to come out for those meetings. Very important. Congratulations to our family centers once again, and thank you to the Assistance Leagues for recognizing the fantastic work that you all are doing. And thank you for supporting our students in our community. And then lastly, just one more thank you to all of our employees for an outstanding year. It was not easy. It was not always fun, but you approached it with the attitude and the demeanor that we need to make sure that our kids have exactly what they need in this community. So thank you very much. Please get some rest over the summer. I know that everybody will be working on one thing or another, and we look forward to coming back in August, ready to go better than ever. So thank you.
Excuse me, Dennis?
Yeah, I was very impressed with the food pantry and the League of Assistance, what you do. 170 families, this is great. Really, I've always said it's easy to teach, but it's hard to teach hungry kids. It really is. So,
Thank you, Dennis. Just like to echo what Trinae said is that it was good to end the year on a positive note with graduations live in person. And I'd like to thank everybody that sits at this table because all the way from Kylie all the way down to Matt down there that, we had a good year. It was very busy and there was a lot going on. And lot behind the scenes, a lot of communication, not just from the dais here, but there was a lot going on, with emails and keeping up on what was occurring, and everybody handled it very professional. And look forward to a good next year. And the food pantry, I had no idea this was going on, and with the prices of food, I think it's going to be even more of a popular program. So keep up the good work, and thank you. Make sure you thank all the vendors, such as Walmart and that actually donate, because without them, it'd be pretty much not able to do it. So thank you. So with that, we have no public hearings this time, and no special meetings this time. And we just need to move on to discussion items to approve the amended 2022-2023 board meeting schedule. So does anybody have any questions on that?
I did.
Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Were we, because on it, we've changed it to where the meetings will start at 5 o'clock and we're staying in for a 2-hour closed session. That's the plan for next.
Correct.
Yes.
Cool. All right.
Okay. Seems to work out good.
Great.
That we don't have to keep going back and forth, and that we don't let the public have to sit an hour while we're back there.
Perfect. Okay.
So, works out good. So with that, we need a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Dennis and Maria, second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that'll be the order. Okay, so we'll move on to approve the certificated and classified personal actions as listed. Motion,
So moved.
Second.
Chris. Second, Dennis. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that'll be the order. Adopt local control accountability plan for 2022-2023.
So
Motion.
moved.
Motion, Maria. Second, Nunez. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that'll be the order. Pass and adopt resolutions 21, 22, 28, committed fund balance, Fund 01. Motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Chris, second by Dennis. And if anybody has any discussion on any of these items, please just speak up. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that'll be the order. Adopt proposed budget for 2022, 2023. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Dennis, second, Maria. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that'll be the order. All right, moving on to consent agenda. We have consent items 1 through 15. If nobody wants to pull any items for discussion, I'll need a motion to approve items 1 through 15.
I move we approve the agenda from 1 to 15.
Okay, Maria, do we have a second on that?
I'll second it.
Wilson, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, that'll be the order. We have no need for a second closed session, and there's nothing to report on closed session. Closing items, anybody have any future things they want to bring up for the next meeting? Trinae already did for the stadium, so that will be on next agenda, which is in August. Yes. All right. If anybody has any other board member comments, if not, we'll call for motion to adjourn.
I make a motion that we adjourn.
All right, Dennis, second.
Second.
Second by Chris, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That'll be the order. So we have some stuff to sign, Kylie, so stay in your seats.